Hello everyone! Welcome! Alright, testing out my new feature here so when I talk the music should go down so you guys can hear better. Awesome. Hello. Let's get this centered. Yeah. Good to have you guys. Alright, so here's what we're doing today. Today, we're not going to actually be writing code, maybe towards the end, but we're actually just going to be going over fundamentals of HTML and just going over some theories. My goal is to stream for the next 2 hours, so as long as we don't have any extra time, we probably will not write code today, but let's get into some theory. All right, so today we're talking about div elements. What exactly are div elements? If you have ever inspected the elements of an HTML page, I promise you've seen div tag. It's all over. We often see div tags. This is a very common tag. So when should we use them? Now that's the key. That's the special thing. So the div element is used as a container to group other elements. Here is an example of a div element. Add another paragraph element inside the div element and see the changes in the preview window. To see previews, you'll need to enable the interactive editor. Okay. Aha, okay, I need to enable the interactive editor. Let's try that. I'm just going to cut off the top so you guys can see it better. Give me just a second. It'll take 2 seconds. Aha, okay. Alright, yeah, you guys can watch me as I awkwardly do this. My main thing is I don't want to have... So I'm actually editing elements and divs right now, but I don't want to stream it because I don't want it to be mixed in with the educational content of today's lesson. Let's see here. There it is. We're done. All right, so bringing that back. Anyways, all right, so here's an example. We're adding another P. All right, so another P element. This is an amazing test. Awesome. So, okay, nice. Just see it all together. What if, just for fun, because we have an interactive editor here, what if we just added a paragraph not nested in the div? So let's do what happens now, just to see if we can see any visual. Okay, so no visual difference here, but what this is going to do is making it a container. It's going to allow us to edit these things at one time. So if we wanted to set different parameters, different font sizes, it just puts it in a group. It's like a folder. Okay, very interesting. All right. So it says you will mainly use the div elements when you want to group HTML elements that will share a set of CSS styles, like literally what I just said. You will learn more about CSS in future lessons and workshops. CSS is a special page where we actually write all the details of the theme, of the font, the colors, the background, everything. So, yeah, we'll get into that. Even though the div element is commonly used in real-world code bases, you should be careful not to overuse it. There are times when another element would be more appropriate. For example, if you wanted to divide up your content into sections, then the section element would be more appropriate than a div element. Okay, so maybe my use of the word section is not correct, because of course we have a section tag, or a section element. So now it says add another section element below the first one. Then inside of this section element, an H2 and P elements, you can use whatever text you'd like to see the changes. All right, let's do it. Let's go. We got section. Awesome. Below this one, section. Oh, wait. I thought that it would let me. Isn't there a way to auto enter it? I forgot what that. How did they do that? Okay, well, never mind. All right, never mind. Anyways, section. And we're going to indent, because that's proper parenting. We've got an H2. Let's come back and add the tags. Let's just go ahead and get all the tags in. Make sure that we're good here. It doesn't want me to add any kind of list like they have. So then we'll close it. All right, let's do it. So H2, let's see. If I had an active chatter, I would be asking what I should write about, but I don't, or at least not yet. So instead, I'm going to make something up. Let's talk about, did you know? Did you know? All right. Let's see here. Did you know that May 8th is the Liberation Day for Czech Republic? Yeah! Woo! Liberation from communism. All right, and so let's see here. Now that we've added our new section and our new paragraph, we've got. All right, and see, just it looks. What happens if we do open code in Sandbox? I'm not a bot, I promise. Beep boop beep. Let's subject them. All right. Oh, this is cool. I didn't even know about this I haven't opened the Sandbox. That's awesome. It's literally okay. So this is literally like VBS Code, but on the browser. That's really cool. I love that. Good to know. All right. Well, anyways, moving forward. The section element has semantic meaning over the div element, which is not semantic. Semantics are the meaning of words or phrases in a language. In HTML, which is a language, elements have their own semantic meaning too. So this means if you use a section element, the browser will pick up its semantic meaning and understand to treat this as a section. On desktops, mobiles, you name it. Yeah, woo! Questions. What semantic meaning does the div element have? Trick question! Because the div element does not have a semantic meaning. Okay, so I guess like I wanna write this down. I might even clip this, but the way I'm trying to understand this is that we can say the div is kind of like something for more organizing of the coder, or like for the code, and then maybe sections are actually organizing more of the visual, the front end, what the consumer sees. So maybe that's it. We'll find out. All right, but anyways, when is it the most appropriate to use a div element in your HTML? When dividing content into separate sections of a page, when grouping related content for styling purposes, when marking up the main heading of a page, or when embedding media such as images or videos. Let's do styling purposes. Which of the following HTML elements is commonly used to group content into distinct sections? Section. Yeah, not to be confused with div. Check. Magnificent. All right, we are done with divs. We are going to be going into our next part. Let me just go ahead and remove the interactive editor here. Yeah, I already got it. I just don't need the bar here. Awesome. Just trying to make it as much space as possible here for us to see what we're doing. All right, excellent, guys, excellent. So we've already completed one section. That's 25%. That's a quarter here. We're going to take a 5-minute break, because if there's anything that I've learned in boot camp with 100 devs, it's that breaks are important. So make sure that, you know, you do a big milestone, take a little 5-minute break. Okay. All right. So approximately, let's go ahead and start the timer for the starting soon screen. That way we'll have a real timer of our break, and we're literally taking 5. Okay, take 5. All right, we're back. We're back. So now we've talked about divs. So what's our next part? What are IDs and classes, and when should you use them? The ID attribute adds a unique identifier to an HTML element. Here's an example of an H1 element with an ID of title. So we've got H1 ID equals title. Okay, movie review page. Very nice. Below the H1 element, add an H2 element with an ID set to subtitle. You can write whatever text you would like. Okay, let's do it. All right, so let's see here. We got movie review page with movie review page. I don't know. I just wanted to write something kind of funny, like better than Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that's right. Better than Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Moving forward. You can reference the ID name of title within your JavaScript or CSS. Here's a CSS example referencing. Here's our first CSS example. Referencing the ID of title to change the text color to red. So, note, some CSS has been provided for you in this interactive example. Don't worry about trying to understand CSS code because you will learn more about that in future lessons. But if you want to see the text color change to blue, enable this interactive editor, click on Style CSS tab, and change color red to color blue. All right, so we see the doc type is HTML. Got our main element here. Head. All right, and here's the reference here. So link, style sheet, styles. All right, so now let's look at the styles tab. Oh, basic. Literally just has that we're trying to make all titles red. So let's change this to blue. Yeah! Woo! The hash symbol in front of the title tells the computer you want to target an ID with that value. ID names should not be used more than once. They should always be unique. A thing to note about ID values is that they cannot have spaces in them. Here is an example of applying the words main and heading to an ID attribute value. So let's read that again. Another thing to note about ID values is that they cannot have spaces in them. Oh yeah, like browsers will see the space as part of the ID, which will lead to unwanted issues. ID attribute values should only contain letters, digits, underscores, and dashes. In contrast to the ID attribute, the class attribute value does not need to be unique and can contain spaces. Here's an example of applying a class called box to a div element. Huh, interesting. All right, so I want to mess around, I want to play. I'm going to take this H2 that we added earlier, and I want to put it in the index here. Like this. And I want to see if I make this ID title, what kind of problems are we going to have? Bam. Looks like the main problem is that they're both going to be blue. And so I think that... Yeah, I think that you could use it like that is what I was curious about. But then, another note to clip. So why would we do this instead of classes for, you know, group coloring and group editing, things like this? We'll find out. If you wanted to add multiple class names to an element, you can do so by separating the names by a space. Here's an updated example applying multiple classes. Box, red box. Here's another example of applying multiple classes to multiple div elements. Note some CSS has been provided for you in this interactive example. Don't worry about trying to understand the CSS code because you will learn more about that in future lessons. But if you wanted to change the color of the first and third boxes, enable the interactive editor and click on Style CSS tab and change the background color to red, background color to black. Okay. So div, red box, blue box, red box, blue box. Colored boxes example. See how they have this in the styles sheet. Red box, background color red. Blue box, background color black. Okay. I think that, oh yeah, this one black. Nice. First and third. Good to know. So, oh wait, real quick. Okay. I wanted to see if there was anything else that just had the class of box, but it looks like no. Oh, and that's cool. I didn't know if you highlight it, it shows you that for all of them. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if VS Code does that. I'm pretty sure it does. That's cool. All right. Anyways, so to recap. When should you use an ID versus a class? Classes are best used when you want to apply a set of styles to many elements. Okay, here's the question I literally had earlier. If you want to target a specific element, it is best to use ID because those values need to be unique. So when should you use ID versus class? Use a class when you want to identify a unique, ID unique. Multiple elements. Yep, that's one. Yeah. What happens if you use the same ID more than once in your HTML? Which of the following is not a correct value of ID attribute? Right here, because we can't have spaces in IDs. Check the answers. Bam! Another 50%. All right, guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to submit it. That one was really short, but I'm still going to take a break respectively because, to be honest, I need to use the restroom. But yeah, we're going to do that. All that caffeine's hitting me. Got to get going. Okay, let's see here. All right, so our next part is HTML entities and some common examples. I will leave this up for us, just for, well, actually, trying to think, how could I like put a timer over this? Yeah, nah, we're gonna take 5 and we'll be right back to this. Yeah, we'll take 5. All right, guys, take it 5. All right, sorry I was a little late. So we're back. What are HTML entities and what are some common examples? An HTML entity or character reference is a set of characters used to represent a reserved character in HTML. Let's say you wanted to display the text, "This is an image element" on the screen. If you use the code currently in the editor, it won't display the desired result, even if you added source and alt attributes to the example. It would show an image in the middle of the paragraph, not the desired result. To interact with the example, you'll need to, This is an image. Yeah, so this is an element. So even if we added a source, it wouldn't be right. When the HTML parser sees the less than symbol followed by HTML tags, it interprets this as an HTML element. This is why you're not getting the desired results of "this is an image element" on the screen. To fix this issue, you can use HTML entities. Here are an updated example using correct HTML entities for less than, greater than. Now you should see this is an image element on the screen. So what did they do? Enable trying, okay. I'm just going to copy it. Below the paragraph element, you should see the appeals. Huh. So, what do they do? It's and LT colon image slash and GT colon and LT colon P and P and GT. Learning is fun. And LT colon slash P and GT colon. Wow, interesting. Very, very interesting. I did not know this. I didn't know that this is how you had to write. If you wanted to write like in text to show people coding tags. Interesting. These types of character. Oh, let's open it in the sandbox. Because I'm not sure if this is really that, or if this is like maybe a code for a symbol that my browser's just not rendering. Okay, no, it really is that. LT, wow. Okay, good to know. All right, so these types of characters references are known as named character references. Named references starts with an ampersand sign. Ampersand. I need to remember that. Ampersand. Oh, ampersand. Ampersand sign. I always thought it was just and. The and symbol. So, ampersand sign and end with a semicolon. But using a named character reference, the HTML parser will not confuse this with an actual HTML element. By using a named character reference. Yeah, it just means like named, like I'm not using this in the script as a function, it's just being named, it's being displayed. Okay, yeah, that's all it's saying. It's just saying that by making it a named character reference, it just doesn't register it as like, oh, this is part of the code. Another type of character reference would be a decimal numeric reference. This character reference starts with an ampersand sign and hash symbol, followed by one or more decimal digits. So, okay, just so that it's not confused with like color codes, I guess. Here's an example of using a decimal numeric reference for the less than symbol. Enable the interactive. You can see for copyright symbol. Enable and change the code to see different symbols. You can use No way, really? Okay, so all of these mean something. And hashtag or hash 60 is that one. I think 61 is the other one, right? No, it's equal. 262. Oh, that's interesting. That's so interesting. Okay. So 169 is copyright, and then R is trademark. Cool. If I ever want to be like, let's go ahead and practice it. Jar coding. And we'll do and hashtag 169. Easy number to remember. Nice. Nice. All right, so moving forward then, the last type of character reference would be the hexadecimal numeric reference. This character reference starts with an ampersand sign, hash symbol, and the letter X, and it's followed by one or more hex digits and end with the semicolon. ASCII, or not sure if that's right. Here's an example of using the hexadecimal numeric reference for lesson symbol. Enable the interactive editor and change the code to see different symbols. You can use ... for the euro symbol and ... for the Greek capital letter omega symbol. Really? They got all the Greek characters too? Is that how like the sororities write on their blog page? That's funny. Wow, cool. I had no idea. And funny, because I'm sure that like in Europe, I mean, if someone's here and can let me know, I think you guys have like an easier access button for the euro symbol, right? Like maybe on a standard European keyboard, the $sign number 4 is actually the euro sign. Maybe. I'm just kind of guessing. All right. So, anyways, let's answer some questions and get ready for a break. So what is an HTML entity character reference? A set of Google fonts, a group of images and captions, a set of characters that represent JavaScript code, a set of characters used to represent a reserved character in HTML. All right, what do you think? Reserved characters. What are 3 types of character references? Named, decimal numeric, and hexadecimal. So hexi is specifically for color codes. Decimal numeric is just, I guess, for other number codes. Correct syntax for named character reference. It's going to be and amp. What? I guess it's that. I didn't really quite catch that. I don't even see that as an example exactly. Is that like, does LT just mean list item? No. Huh. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this one because this is the closest. I'm not sure about the amp part. Yep, it's right. All right, we've got one more set. I think we can go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and knock it out real quick, and we'll get ready to say goodbye. Actually, we'll use it for a 5-minute break. Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. We're gonna walk around, get up, stretch the legs, do what you gotta do. Hello, hello. Hello, lovely people. I don't know if any of you guys watch Nintendo Life on YouTube, but that's always my favorite line when they open up. Hello, lovely people. All right, guys, so we're going to do the last 25% of our HTML theories, fundamentals theory, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to say goodbye just for today. I think this was very informative and a good quick reminder. I need to like change the title of this to have you forgotten the basics of HTML? Here we are. All right. What is the role of the script element in HTML and how can it be used to link external JavaScript files? The script element is used to embed executable code. Most developers will use this to execute JavaScript code. JavaScript is used to add interactivity to your web pages, basically like Flash, everything that's like really pretty and, you know, not like basic text on color like we see here. But yeah, common examples of using JavaScript include interactive games, image sliders, and dynamic forms that validate users' input in real time. Here is an example of a script element in an HTML document. Remove the 2 forward slashes from the front of the alert "Welcome to Free Code Camp," and you should see an alert pop up. To see the previews, you will need to enable the interactive editor. I keep reading that. All right, let's do it. Bam! Welcome! Oh, that's so cool. Okay. It literally makes it a pop-up, and I'm not even using like Google Chrome as most people would traditionally be using. But it still pops up great. Welcome to Free Code Camp. Let's do it again. Let's do forward slash and let's do Opera GX is the best browser. And let's do it. And bam! Opera GX is the best browser. I like Opera GX just to show off real quick because look, it lets you have full control of the CPU processing, networking, and the RAM limitations or limiting the RAM basically of the whole browser. Something that Chrome does not do. If you have a million tabs in Chrome open, you will notice your computer will come to a crawl. It is because Chrome is a resource hog. All right, while you can technically write all of your JavaScript code inside the script tags, it is considered best practice to link an external JavaScript file instead. Here is an example of using script element to link an external JavaScript file. So you could write all the JavaScript code inside the script tags. That's actually wild. I didn't know that. I don't think anyone really does that. I wonder if there's ever a time to do that. Interesting. I guess maybe if you don't want to have so many files in the directory. But okay, well, the source attribute is used here to specify the location for that external JavaScript file. Source stands for SRC stands for source. The reason why it is not encouraged to place all of your JavaScript inside the HTML document is because of separation concerns. Separation of concerns is a design principle where you separate your programs into distinct sections and have section address. Each section address a separate concern. In this case, we want to separate our JavaScript code from our HTML code. Nice. All right, let's answer some questions. I think this actually might be it for us. Which attribute is used to link an external JavaScript file? The source code, source attribute. What is separation of concerns? It's a design principle where you separate your programs into distinct sections. which of the following is the correct syntax for, by the way, just so you guys know, syntax, this is such a great word. Syntax basically means like grammatical structure of a coding language. They say that when you get really familiar with one type of syntax, that the others become quite natural. You know, basically what that means is that sometimes in some code, you might use the greater than and less than symbols to use your tags. And then in some code, it might be like only forward slashes. You know, it just depends. So every language has similar grammatical structure, which is called syntax, but with like different characters and different words. All right, which of the following is the correct syntax for linking to an external JavaScript site? We've got script with a div path to, no, it's the source one. Yes, we did it. Awesome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a glance at what we're going to be seeing in our next session together. I also wanted to inform everyone that I will not be making progress on my free code camp here without streaming it. So don't worry, you guys. We're only progressing together. What just happened here? Nice. All right, so we have the theory of HTML fundamentals done. Next time we meet, we're gonna do a workshop just like we did with the cat photo app, and we're gonna be making a bookstore page. And oh man, I want to see the finished result. Is there a way to preview it? I want to see what we're doing. Yeah, let's preview it. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so that's basically what we're doing next time. So, thank you guys all so much. It was great to be here this morning. Honestly, just woke up kind of like super early. Didn't have anything else to do. Thought, hey, let's go ahead and get some divs in and learn some theory. Have a wonderful Monday, everyone. Enjoy the week. See you guys